To remove this intake, you have to unclip the hose from the other side, and then these 4 bolts, and it takes this cover off, and then you have a bolt behind it for the filter, and then the other 5 bolts to remove the whole piece. Okay, to remove the filter itself, this screw right here, and it's a 4mm. Okay, to remove the filter, it's a 4mm. Now you'll need a 5mm Allen wrench for these parts, and these can be on there kind of snug. Okay, now you also have to remove these 2 bolts with the 10mm. Alright, now you have to remove this hose. So you just pull that clamp back. Pop that off. Now you do have a connector here, so you have to push that in, take that out. Now the last thing is you have to take this off. Sometimes it's kind of ornery. And that's how you remove this. Okay, so we are going to do a custom cold air intake on a Vulcan 900 using the stock air box and snorkel. Now I know a lot of you guys have seen this previously, so let me explain to you. The air intake here is from the back side where the heat is. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to install it right here for cold air intake. I am going to put a screen on the inside of the snorkel to prevent large things going in, which will basically allow it to be like an aftermarket cold air intake. Any cold air intake that's aftermarket is going to allow a lot more dirt and grime in it, especially if the filter is directly exposed. So what I am going to do, which I have never seen anybody do, I'm going to seal this off so that no hot air comes into here. So let's start by taking this existing snorkel out. Okay, I am going to clean up all these pieces as I go. So I am going to mark this spot, make sure I have plenty of room for it. There is a groove on here, right here, where it goes into. And what I want to do is make it fit exactly correct. Now, as long as you don't pass this point on here, it will not interfere with how the intake and the filter block debris. Okay, here's the snorkel, cleaned it up a little bit. Cut this out. It fits pretty well. It's very sealed. It's not real bent up. I am going to clean it up a little bit more, but before I do that, I'm going to work on this piece right here, and I'm going to actually cover that and seal it up. Okay, here's a piece of plate carbon fiber. I marked where the hole was on the inside and the outside, and I'm going to put this over it and I'm going to drill a hole on either side, and I'm going to have a screw with a lock nut on the other side, and I'm going to put gasket sealer on it to seal this part of the old intake off. Okay, here is the finished factory cold air intake. I removed the snorkel from the back where the air comes in, where all the heat is, and I placed it in the front to let cold air come in. I just gently cut it out till it fit how I liked. I did seal it. Put a piece of carbon fiber plate that my boys had that they were using to make knife handles with, and sealed it with gasket sealer as well. This is a vent hole from the factory. I'm going to leave that one here. And I'm probably going to end up putting some mesh on this side. I had some, but it was too stiff. And I'm going to JB weld it or seal it with gasket sealer so nothing large can get through there. I'm going to put the bike back together and we'll see how it works.